All right. Welcome to the 63rd episode of the Revolutionary Code, where we bring the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America, Africa, and the diaspora. I'm your host, Brother Tamani Mondana out of Houston, Texas. I am the direct revolutionary product of one Cardinal and Bayou Chewy out of the Shrines of the Black Madonna, and the indirect revolutionary product of one Albert B. Clegg, African title and name, Jeramogi Abebe Ajiman, the father of liberation theology and the founder of the Shrines of the Black Madonna. I'm also the founder of the Black-owned Nation movement. My co-host, the chief consultant of the Black-owned Nation's National Political Strategy and Implementation Department and our Adult Education Division, and the chairman of LACE, Liberation Advocates for Community Empowerment, the intellectual gangster, corporate grassroots revolutionary, and master domino assassin from Shreveport, Louisiana, AKA The Boot, Brother Craig B. Lee. Brother Craig, how you doing this evening?
I am doing Iron, wishing my New Orleans Saints well tonight against our arch rival, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, y'all play the Cowboys. Cowboys been on the road doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Is the quarterback still Simeon?
No, they went on and put Taysom Hill in. Right?
Who?
Taysom Hill.
Oh, Taysom Hill. Oh, wait, Jameson's still hurt.
Yeah, he's still hurt.
Okay.
He's out.
I don't know if Taysom is just a gadget player or not, but you know, good luck.
He better than damn Simeon.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Okay. So before we get started this evening, let me tell you guys a little bit about the Black-owned Nation movement. Our ultimate goal is putting our people in a position by which we can own and or control the environment in which we live by having political power. We understand that everything is about power, and if we don't have that politically, then we can't control what affects our day-to-day lives. So everything we do is about bringing our people together to find the right people so we can build a team that matters, because we understand that this thing is a team sport. And if you don't have a team that you're playing with, you are most certainly going to lose. So Brother Craig and I are not just here to inform and educate. We're trying to get you to do something. We want to inform, educate, motivate, mobilize, organize, and build. Again, every single thing we say and everything we do is about bringing our people together to find the right people so we can build something that matters, something that has power, that can protect our communities, protect our people, protect our children, and something we can build upon and expand moving forward. The title of tonight's show is The Pathway to Power, Understanding the Intersectionality of Business, Politics, and the Numbers. The Pathway to Power, Understanding the Intersectionality of Business, Politics, and the Numbers. So here in the Black-owned Nation, we use Dr. Wade Nobles' definition of power, which is the ability to define reality and to have others respond to your definition as if it were their own. That is our definition of power in the Black-owned Nation. So my first question for Brother Craig, in a society, Brother Craig, be that a village, town, small and mid-sized city, by which Craig Lee is in power, what would life be like for the melanated Black population in that society that you have political control over? What would that look like? What is that vision?
It would be sunshine. But it would be bruh.
Come on.
And we're only about 10 years away from it, so y'all might as well get ready to move here. It's going to be culturally diverse. It's going to be impactful. It's going to be a place where we take use of all of our resources, even those who have fallen down on themselves, i.e. the homeless. There will be no such thing as homeless folks, because we can put people to work. And so the vision I have for our city, our parish, is one where everybody is doing something. There's only been one time in this country's history, before the country was formed, because you had the Great Britain thing before the American Revolution. There's only been one time when this country had full employment, and that was during chattel slavery.
Slavery, right?
So the question then becomes, how do you establish maximum full employment in a village, town, small city,
That's
or
right.
a mid-sized city?
Yep.
And there are some creative things, but the one thing that I tell people, and I've discussed with you on numerous occasions, in order to solve that issue and really make this thing happen, you cannot be one-dimensional in your thought process, because this game that we're in is multidimensional. It's multifaceted. So you have to operate on multiple levels. It's not an either or. It's how many of these things that we do in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3.
Right.
But in each phase, there are going to be multiple things that's done at the same time. So in this particular place, you're going to see just vibrant conditions for our people and other ethnic groups. Because in order for us to lead, and I say this all the time to people, the reason that the planet is out of order,
yes, sir,
is because we are out of order.
That's right.
And yes, our oppressor plays a major role in that, but we also play a critical role in that. And so we have to now get to the business of business. I remember I used to date a sister who was in the art business, and her and her ex-husband had put this company together, and we had started dating in 1996, and her husband would often ask her, how is business? And she would say, I'm busy. And Gora would tell her, stop being busy and start handling business.
Right.
So it's time for us to get to the business of empowerment, the business of leadership. And that's what Shreveport would look like. It would look like high-speed rail. It would look like utilizing our port. It would look like, we have two lakes in the city and a river, and just 10 miles, 15, 20 miles up the road outside of our northern boundary, we have a third lake, Caddo Lake, Cross Lake, Wallace Lake. So we would take advantage of all of our natural resources. As a matter of fact, interestingly enough, just to show you the type of eye that I have for real estate, there's a small little plot of land that sits in the middle of our main lake, Cross Lake. And it looks like an island, or it is an island. And I said over 30 years ago, because I just turned 54, I said, man, if I had the money, bro, I'd put like a club, a restaurant on that island, because I know they got some alligators. Ain't no telling what else they got on the island. Quite sure snakes and some other types of wildlife. And I was saying this over 4 decades ago. Man, one of my good partners, who Rodney Giles, he's the uncle of my little nephew, Damon, who has the #1 African-American restaurant in all of the state of Louisiana, Orlando. That's where we have our Tuesday morning breakfast.
Right.
Rodney went to an event that was held on the goddamn island. The white folks that came and put a venue, and the only way you get to the deal, you have to get there by boat.
Right.
And I say, dang.
They got it.
But what it tells me is my eye for real estate, my eye for business concepts. So Shreveport would be this land of idea creators, bringing folks like Brother Nauru in and bringing his perspective on edutainment from positive hip hop perspective. We would have, science, technology, engineering, arts, math. We would invest in people's ideas. So we would, be just tapping into all types of industries. And of course, we would put these goddamn savages in check, because it would be, very little goddamn crime.
Yeah. So why do you think that vision of what you just shared, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that you're not sharing for strategic reasons. Why do you think it's not like that now? Or has it been that way?
Because I ain't in goddamn power.
Exactly. Okay, all right. The path.
Me and my team, we're not in power yet. But hold on, guys.
You coming?
Coming.
All right. The pathway to power. As I say in the opener, we're not here to just inform and educate. We're trying to get you to do something. So that doing is helping us to get our people on this pathway to power, to create, exist, and build upon the kind of society that you just described. What you just described, we don't want to all have to come to Shreveport because we all won't fit. We want to do that kind of thing. We want to have that vision become a reality in as many places as possible.
We can welcome 300,000 of y'all.
So the 301,000, you got to go somewhere else. So we understand at DGN that this pathway can be realized without a clear understanding of business, politics, and the numbers we need to take political power. So these three entities, these three sciences are interrelated. The second question, Brother Craig, is of these three, business, politics, and the numbers, which would you say our people are fundamentally most confused by, business, politics, or the numbers?
Well, you got to define the numbers. Tell me what you mean when you say
the numbers as relates to how do you use the numbers of the population to gain political power? We don't fully understand how important the population is as it relates to what you're trying to do for grassroots Black people. Yeah. So of those three, which one do you think we're most fundamentally confused by?
Hell, all of them.
You got to pick one.
I mean,
you think we're equally confused about all three?
Listen, man.
Come on.
It's very few. I want you to put this in perspective.
Okay.
Two elements. Let me say it like this: when a person is born, they've been lied to before they were even born, and when they're born, they've been told that they are born into this world by themselves. Mm-hmm. That within and of itself is a lie. Yeah. And even if they had a little intellect, they'll say that I am the product of my mother and father. And that is a lie because it's partially true. And anything that's partially true is still a lie. Mm-hmm. Well, why is it a lie, Craig? Because when you're born as an extension of millions of people who are inside of you. That's how you got here. The creator and the ancestors who created you. Maternal side, paternal side. Now, why is that important? Because as a part of you is this concept of genetics and epigenetics. Genetics, the physical dynamic of you, intrinsic, extrinsic, and then epigenetics, the experiences that you don't even know you've had because it's in your goddamn bloodline.
That's right.
Now, why is that important to your question? During chattel slavery, the vast majority of our people did not know how to read. So literacy was a major issue, and this was a strategic plan during chattel slavery. Why is that important? Because that illiteracy curse or obstacle was passed on from generation to generation. So now we're talking every 20 years, this is passed on. So now learning becomes an issue. Learning becomes an issue. But even during chattel slavery and right after chattel slavery, as I always tell you, from 1864 to 1944, our ancestors created over 200 Black townships throughout this entire country. And so those small numbers of people who forged this master plan to create Black townships, small numbers of people. Mm-hmm. The vast majority of our people follow. So our understanding and comprehension of business, of politics, of the numbers, of the game the philosophy, the system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy, racism is so minuscule. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's why I say you can't select between one of the three, because we are incompetent as it relates to all three. And I say that with all love for my people, because they have not been trained, they have not learned, they have not been taught, because from their ancestral background, it has never happened. Fortunately for me, and that's why I have a different perspective on Shreveport than most folks, my pedigree, my bloodline, my epigenetic and genetic makeup has me connected to some phenomenal ass people. And it's just in my bloodline, in my goddamn Kendrick Lamar says, it's in my DNA.
That's right. That's right.
Goddamn DNA for me to not roll within that dynamic. So since I understand that the majority of our people do not understand and comprehend, I have to now mobilize and organize those of us of like minds who can put together the prototype, the proof of concept, so that we can show this. And that's what my 26 years in the city of Shreveport has been all about. So I would say that all three of those are areas are equally void. I couldn't select either one.
Okay. So the often quoted number of 2.4 trillion, 2.5, 2.6 if you include the illegal dollars that melanated African descendants generated in America. That number sounds absolutely fantastic. But how do we put ourselves in a position to actually control percentages of this money?
Well, if you're building a house, if you're nailing something up, you can only nail one goddamn nail at a time if it's an individual.
Okay.
Now, if you get 5 individuals to work together, you can nail 5 nails at the same time. If you get 10, you can nail 10 nails at the same time. But it all starts with a foundation. So the number of 1.5 trillion legal and illegal money, the only way to start doing this in terms of, because the cooperative economic spending rate is less than 3%, meaning the money that African-American consumers spend with African-American firms is less than 3%. So the question then becomes, how do we increase that from less than 3% to, let's say, 40%? Because you're never going to capture 100%.
Right.
Okay. And the question that you ask is a very good one, because guess what? Ain't nobody really, I mean, people talk about it.
That's right. That's right.
Money like, oh, let's do Black Friday. Let's shop black. This week, let's go to a black restaurant. Listen, bro. Listen. You have to be deliberate and disruptive in how you maneuver in this matrix if you're going to now redirect less than 3% up to 40%. But it all starts, again, at the local level. Just like politics is local, everything, because politics is everything, everything is local. Business is politics, so business is local. Family is politics, so family is local. So now once you establish the foundation in your village, town, city, small city, or mid-sized city, now you begin to set the prototype and the proof of concept to now link up with other enlightened minds. See, when you look at this to money, and we come out of chattel slavery, 1865, the ending of the Civil War, and now you see a movement. The goddamn movement coming out of slavery wasn't to go beg no goddamn white folks for money.
Because you couldn't, for one.
It was to establish our own damn township.
That's right.
Now think about that.
Yeah.
it harder to establish a township back then with the Klan lurking to lynch your goddamn ass every day? Or is it easier today?
Easier today.
Easier today, but harder today because as of 1974, after 10 years of figuring out how to put this illusion of integration together, the Negroes like, I don't have to stay by their ass no more.
Right. I can get away from my own people.
Because the Negro just don't know how to do things the right way. Mm-hmm. The white man is the standard. And so now unity is so difficult. And most people would say, well, see, we need to go back to the times where we were unified. Well, there's another quote by a famous Black writer by the name of Kelly Miller. And he said, there's never been any good times to be Black in America.
That's right.
But sometimes we're worse than others. Mm. So ain't been no goddamn good times. If you go look at good times, when was good times ever good times in Florida and James?
In between the bad times?
They never had no goddamn good times. But they made you feel comfortable in what? Your oppression, your condition.
That's right.
And so at the end of the day, it starts the whole dynamic of redirecting that 1.5 trillion. We're talking 30-40%. And let's put a perspective on that. Mm-hmm. If we redirected 30% of $1.5 trillion, that's $450 billion. That's, you couldn't, if you just looked at that, 450 billion and 10% of 450 billion is 45 billion. 10% is 45 billion. Mm-hmm. If you just took 10%, well, you can go to all the goddamn states and all the countries around the world. There ain't no budget that allots 45 billion for all Negroes in the world.
That's right.
So if you're thinking, well, you could be thinking, if you're believing that white folks or Chinese folks or whoever, they're going to redirect 45 billion, 3 billion, 100 billion for your Black ass to come up so they start to lose, you're retarded.
Right, right.
And so we have to do this by ourselves at the local level, where we now focus on entrepreneurships, not just in no goddamn daycare centers. That's the other thing I tell you. The Negro is a strange creature, because if they see, like Brother Lloyd got the Black store, they see Brother Lloyd with the goddamn Black store. Now they want to go do the purple store. No, Negro, come up with another business concept. Come up with another business concept that we can now penetrate, because you now need to look at the industry where Negroes are spending money. Mm-hmm. And we create opportunities there. But it all starts at the local level, at the home, in the neighborhood, and teaching our young folks in school how to now become entrepreneurs. And in order to do that, you need the first two components of the 6 pillars: spirituality and organic right culture.
And what could that kind of money open up for us if we have captured 30, 35, 40% and we got 400 plus billion? What opens up? What becomes possible?
Dude, if you just looked at that and you just took 5% out of 450 billion, 22.5 billion now is dedicated to schools.
There you go.
HBCUs ain't got to beg for no goddamn money. You can create your own damn schools with an Afrocentric curriculum. You can create your own preschools with Afrocentric curriculum. You can create your own community. You can create your own goddamn bank. Okay, you can create every goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Your own sanitation company. Who came up with these ideas? Oh, Black folks when they were oppressed. But when you let Negroes start to sit at the front of the damn bus and start to go to Woolworth, they're like, shit, why we gotta do all that? That's too much work.
Yeah.
We can go to McDonald's now. We don't need to do our own thing. But everybody else is doing their own thing, and we're complaining. Give us for the Hossam feather. Give us. But you say you want to be respected. And so 5% could solve all of the educational issues. You see, and you can go through and slice the money up. But at the end of the day, we work to create culture social entrepreneurs. So if they're making, and I can tell everybody on this call, it's real simple. If I'm bringing in $500 million a year net, but it's money. 80% of that going back into the community.
That's right, because you don't need it.
I can't make it on $100 goddamn million. Lloyd Ford needs to come shoot me in my goddamn head today.
That's right.
Mike Gunn needs to come from California. He needs to walk from California and bust a cap in my ass today. If I can, so when you think about it, you say, well, what do these people, why do they need this money? They don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of the game.
Yes, sir.
Because they count. Just like a basketball game and a football game, they count score. So the only way that we're going to do this, we got to have courageous, intellectual gangster entrepreneurs going out, establishing businesses, taking over land masses, and now creating a new paradigm so that our people can see what our ancestors were trying to do between 1864 and 1944 when they created all of these Black townships. And about 30-something of them still exist today.
Excellent. Okay. So the title of tonight's show is The Pathway to Power, Understanding the Intersectionality of Business, Politics, and the Numbers. So if we were to do that, what you just said, mobilize and organize locally, start going after local economics, starting businesses, creating new opportunities, how could that open doors for us in the political arena if we had those kinds of monies available with the right kind of Black people in charge?
Well, first and foremost, now you start to do training for young people, elementary, junior high, high school, college, so they understand every phase of this apparatus. Mm-hmm. See, right now, that ain't never happened.
That's right.
There's never been a training process to teach you about housing and taxes and how this whole thing works. So, we put resources into curriculum design for empowering our young people. Number two, now we start to position the brightest of the brightest to be in leadership position, but now we also cultivate them to knowing how to interact with the grassroots people. Mm-hmm. You can't lead the people. Like, you go back and look at the biblical story of Moses. Moses was born Hebrew, mm-hmm. but he was raised where?
In Pharaoh's house?
The house of Pharaoh.
Right.
Why was he raised in the house of Pharaoh?
Because he was orphaned, huh?
That wasn't a damn reason why he was raised in the house of Pharaoh.
You said Moses, right? His mama put him in the water and sent him down the river?
Oh, no. The Creator designed it that way so he can learn how the ruling class operates.
Okay.
But he was grassroots.
Okay.
So once he, grew up and figured out what he was supposed to do, he didn't go immediately and start to lead the grassroots because he didn't know how they goddamn ass lived, or existed, I should say, because they ain't living. Mm-hmm. He didn't know why a mother would put the goddamn cable bill in her damn 5-month-old goddamn child's name. He didn't know why the damn daddy would go put the electric bill in his son's name. You got to go live amongst them. So he now had to go live amongst them for 40 years. And bro, let me tell you, if you can survive.
with the Negroes.
If you survive with these Negroes for a damn a year, 40 years, I've been surviving with them for 26 years. Mm-hmm. And it gets you in the mindset of comprehending. They don't understand.
Right.
They don't comprehend. Now, that don't mean you become no damn Mother Teresa. Because like a parent, you got to have that goddamn extension cord for that.
That's right.
You got to have that switch for that. Because if you get caught up, their slave mentality will have you constantly believing that if you just give them more and give them more and give them more, no. At some point, you got to do for self.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach your punk ass, but at some point, you got to do for self. And so at the end of the day, this is where this is at. We now have to embrace all of these particular tenets, and we now train the folks. Now we position them to get into positions of leverage. City council, parish county commission, school board, executive branch, which is the mayor in the city, county commission, CAO of the county or parish commission, superintendent of the schools, and then you pick up a couple of judicial seats, and now you're Gucci. Now your ass can make some moves. You ain't making no goddamn move just because you got a couple of dollars.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And now you control your military. You control the military at the local level.
Come on.
Sheriff's office, Marshal's department.
Yeah.
Everything is connected to the political apparatus. So, but now by leveraging the money, you influence all of these different components and the hidden political constructs that you don't see. What are they? These are the boards.
Yeah. The
Architectural Development Board, the damn Airport Authority, the Metropolitan Planning Commission, the damn Zoning Board. Man, this thing is so complex, goddamn it. Your head will start spinning if you don't understand it. And so that's what the money would now be able to be navigated, not only to put behind elections, but to train people to have the same philosophy. Because we wouldn't even be dealing with people who were on a capitalistic level. This is straight up grassroots empowerment.
Yeah.
So you're able to put all of these things together and now incubate the best folks to come out to represent your people.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Okay. So if you missed the beginning of the show, you're listening to the Revolutionary Code, where we bring the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people, African descendants here in America, Africa, and the diaspora. Tonight shows our 63rd episode, and it's titled The Pathway to Power, Understanding the Intersectionality of Business, Politics, and the Numbers. My name is Tamani Mwandani. I'm the founder of the Black on Nation movement, and I'm the host of the show. My co-host is Brother Craig B. Lee, who is our chief consultant of the Black on Nation's political strategy and implementation department, and he's also the head of our adult education division. Next question, Brother Craig. We've had conversations before in previous episodes about the creation of a third party for melanated African descendants. What do most people get wrong when they mention this dire need? And how is your thought process and or your strategies different to achieving this much needed goal? What do most people get wrong, and how is your thinking different as it relates to our need for a third party?
Most folks get wrong that they only have two options,
right?
Democrat or Republican.
Right.
That's how you know they don't know how to think. See, those are predetermined selections for you.
Yes, sir.
That's not a goddamn choice. The choice is to say, wait a minute, let me weigh my options, Democrat, Republican. Okay, both of them are full of shit. So now, what do I do if both of them are full of shit? Now you got to create your own goddamn party. Now you got to say, like, wait a minute, how does this work? So now you get into the intricate details of this. And so now the conclusion is neither one represents your interests. So now we have to mobilize and organize to create our own political representation that's going to now stand up for our issues. Hence why I created PAID. That's the coldest goddamn political party in history. PAID, goddamn it. PAID. political advocates for independent democracy. And what's our slogan? What's our slogan, Mike Gunn? Let's get paid, goddamn it. We're gonna teach our people and other grassroots ethnic groups, because everybody's getting played.
Yep.
It's not just us. I mean, we're the number one target of the oppression, yes. Okay, but it's not oppression Olympics, goddamn it. We're all getting played. So now when we can understand that and establish the political apparatus that's going to mobilize and organize our...
Oh, you muted.
I start to call it, don't. Now we can begin the process of really mobilizing and organizing the votes. I'm glad to see my good partner, Mike Morgan, with Dash on duty on the call, because that's why we are such a threat in the city of Shreveport. Now, the whole damn world has been recognizing us for the past few months. But guess who has not recognized us, Brother Tamani? The damn Cattle Parish school system. Why has the Cattle Parish school system not recognized us, Brother Tamani? Because we're mobilizing and organizing parents.
That's right.
And what do parents represent, Brother Tamani?
Votes.
And what do their uncles and aunts represent, Brother Tamani?
Votes.
And what do their grandparents represent, Brother Tamani?
Votes. And
what do 18-year-old children getting ready to graduate represent, Brother Tamani?
Votes. So
if you can mobilize and organize the goddamn vote, you can vote out the damn school board. Right. And when you vote out the school board members, you can now vote out who? The damn superintendent. And when you control the damn daily operations and the public policy, now you can set your own damn curriculum, God damn it.
There it is.
That's how this works.
There it is. Okay. so what is your brand of political advocacy called? Why is it so important, and how does it differ from Dr. Claude Anderson's quote unquote, we simply need to buy politicians? What is your brand of political advocacy called? Why is it so important, and how does it differ from Dr. Claude Anderson's quote unquote, we simply need to buy politicians?
And I love Dr. Anderson.
Yes, he's an awesome brother.
I really do, because he brings some good information, but he brings some damn misinformation. And if you don't know any better, you be believing that foolishness. Look, man, my brand of, first off, my political philosophy is called culturalism.
That's right.
Culturalism is real simple. Every ethnic group has to have a equity stake in the tax revenues, in the affairs of whatever landmass that exists in this country. They must. Of course, the majority is going to rule, but they must have a seat at the table. And so that's my objective, to establish that foundation for grassroots ethnicities to have a seat at the table and get their equity. That's number one. So I do this thing from a perspective of corporate grassroots revolution. Well, what is that? Grassroots revolution is cool. You can mobilize and organize goddamn people, but in the capitalistic system, if you ain't generating no goddamn money, it ain't gonna damn matter.
Yep.
But you gotta have the corporate component fused in with that. Malcolm didn't understand that. King didn't understand that. Garvey kind of understood it, but he didn't really understand it because he didn't have all the expertise. But you go way back, as I said a few episodes ago, to the phenomenal Paul Cuffee, C-U-F-F-E-E. Paul Cuffee, he understood the business side, because he was one of the wealthiest people in this country after the American Revolution. And he wasn't, like, again, I said the other week, he wasn't promoting no damn concerts. He wasn't throwing no damn parties and whatnot. He made his money off of building ships. And so if he's building ships, goddamn buying the ship. White folks buying the ship.
That's right, because we weren't buying them.
Hell, our ass was enslaved.
That's right. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
It's beyond amazing when you really sit and think about what this brother did. and he and Richard Allen, the founder of the AME Church, these cats laid the foundation for the Back to Africa movement. So at the end of the day, that's how my perspective looks. And it differs from Dr. Claude Anderson, because what Dr. Anderson and so many people, what they mess up and do, they try to play the white man's game like the white man.
That's right.
You can't play the goddamn game like the white man. You got to understand how he plays the game.
Yeah.
You got to comprehend how he plays the game. But you got to create your own goddamn strategy, your own tactical maneuvers in order to win in this goddamn game. Because if you don't, you're going to always lose. You ain't going to have enough money to buy no goddamn politician. Won't never have enough money to buy no damn politician. Because if you're basing your concept on purchasing a candidate and not based on the ethics and morality of the goddamn candidate,
that's right,
is going to whore himself out or herself out to the goddamn highest.
To the highest bidder. That's right.
Respectfully to Dr. Anderson and any other Negro who comes up with this foolish ass notion that you just go put up money. We're going to do like the white man. We're going to do like the... That ain't how the white man works. The white man controls the whole apparatus. So the point that you look at is just a smidgen. These people are committed to your demise. And it goes beyond the goddamn money. If you go back to the movie 12 Years a Slave, that I told you on a review for the deal that you told me about.
The inauguration, yes, sir.
There's a point in the movie where the brother who is now renamed Platt, his clever ass tries to do a political maneuver like Dr. Claude Anderson recommends. Just buy you a cracker. Just buy it. And he gave this white boy some gold or some silver. And what did that white boy do? He went right back and told the goddamn slave.
Yes, sir.
He tried to escape, Malcolm. You don't ever allow anybody to tell you that you can do this game by buying off people. That's not how that works.
Right. Because if you can buy them off, somebody else can buy them off.
The next person with the highest money can buy their ass off.
That's right. That's right. Okay. All right. So the pathway to power, understanding the intersectionality of business, politics, and the numbers. So we were having a conversation this morning that started, Brother Lloyd and I were talking 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. Then you come back with part two about 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30. I didn't wake up till 8 because I went to bed late. So we having this conversation about a very close friend of mine who ran for office in Georgia, right around somewhere near Atlanta, but he didn't win. Now, Stonecrest, yeah. Now the conversation that you and I were having, although it was very specific to this particular race, the outcome highlighted a lot per what our people don't understand about the numbers and how we really could use these numbers in our favor to turn some serious tides. So from running for the presidency to running for governor to even running for mayor in some instances, what don't we fundamentally understand about the numbers, Brother Craig?
That to overthrow the government, if you truly are about change, the power is not in the people who currently vote. The power is in the people who don't vote.
That's right.
They're already registered, but they don't vote. And there are way more people who don't vote than who vote.
Yes, sir.
And if you can convince a third of the people who don't vote to vote, which means you got to have a hell of a connection with them. And you're not going to be able to do that through smoke signals. You ain't going to be able to do that through goddamn me billboard. You got to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
If you can now convince a third of the population, voting population in a city council district, parish commission district, school board district, state representative district, state senate district, any district, you can convince those individuals to roll with not just one, but multiple entities who have the same philosophy, who have the same agenda, same platform. You now can be in control of your local landmass. It's all a numbers game.
Yes, sir.
And specifically in the race that you're talking about, I gave you the numbers that he would have to achieve 50 commitments to vote for him.
Okay. Before you, where you're going, where you're going is what I want to leave, but I want to ask you specifically because I'm about to share those numbers.
Okay.
I want you to tell us what these numbers show you. So where you were going, I want the numbers are going to be on the screen in a second. Where you're going, I want you to tell us what do you see when you look at these numbers, which are the results of the actual election.
All right.
It ain't up yet?
Not yet. It's coming.
Oh, it's up on my screen. Can anybody else see my screen? Yeah, it's up on my screen. Can anybody else see my screen?
Okay, it finally got up.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So everybody can see this, right?
Can we get a thumbs up or a confirmation or something? Yeah. So the Shannon said, yeah. Okay, so I'm assuming. All right.
All right. So what we see is the Stonecrest City Council district race, district post 1. And so we're going to drop down first before we'll go back up to the top. And you're going to see three entities. Jimmy Clanton, when you see the I, that means incumbent. That means he's the person in the race. Then you see Tara Gray, and then you see Quavana Cubby.
And Chromo.
And Chromo. Now, Cubby, that's his nickname. I guess he thought if he put that in there, hell, know about your damn nickname anyway. But anyway, so let's look at this. So we're going to look at Election Day. Election Day, pretty good. He was only 67 votes behind the incumbent. Advanced voting, that's early voting. He got 46 votes. Absentee balloting, which is where he should have focused his time, both he and Tara Graves ends up, being behind the incumbent by 12 and 16 votes. And so you see the tally, 292, 325, 156. Now, if you get caught up in the percentages, 41.94, 37.68, 20.13, you're like, damn, she did real good. No. Now we got to look close. The total vote was 775 votes. Now we go back to the top. And so 775 votes, which they corrected and said 779. 779 out of how many, Brother Tamani?
7,413.
So that gives us a what turnout?
10.51%.
That's a goddamn shame.
That is sad.
So that means 90 goddamn.
Say the hell with it. Wait. This was before the runoff. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Before the runoff.
Before the runoff, yeah.
You got the runoff numbers too, right?
No, I don't. No, they're probably less.
I wish I would have sent those to you.
Yeah.
Because we'll go over the runoff numbers. But you can pull them up while I'm talking. Pull them up. Go to. I'm
not sure. I'm not sure. Can y'all still see it? Did my screen change?
No. I'm saying, okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, because it'll change my screen. Okay, go ahead.
Go back to that. All right, so that means 89.8% Put those numbers back up. 89.49% of the people who could vote didn't go vote. So who is Kwabena really running against? I want to pause right now, and I want to ask anybody, I give your ass, I cash app your ass $20 if you can tell me who Kwabena was running against. Open it up right now. Ask, I give them $20 damn dollars, right?
You phrasing the question wrong. They're not gonna get it because how you phrase it.
No, I'm saying, who was running against? Based on these numbers and what I just got through saying, who is Kwabena running against? I'm phrasing the damn question right.
Himself.
Okay, himself. Okay, that's good. That's a good try. Who said that?
Sister Shannon.
Me.
What's up there, sister who?
Sister Shannon.
Sister Shannon.
Okay, Sister Shannon. Okay, that's a good try. Wrong answer, but that's good. That's good. Okay, Travion say you run against the people. Okay, that's good. Wrong answer. That's a good try.
Hey, Craig, before you give the answer, I want to rephrase that question to see if it changes what people say.
Okay, try to rephrase. But
right.
You're going to put up $20 if they get it.
I ain't saying nothing then. Moto E got his hand up. Okay. Go ahead, speak your piece. Moto E.
Say it.
Brother, sister, your hands up.
Speak.
You got scared. All right, anybody else?
Mike Gunn, you better answer the damn question.
I'm not, ask the question again. I'm not clear.
That man.
Based on what I'm showing you, going over the numbers, who was Kwabena? That's Tamani's partner who lost. He finished third. Who was he really running against?
Terry Gray.
89.49% of the goddamn people didn't go vote. So who was he running against?
Well, he was running against the lost ballots for people not showing up.
Okay, so break that down for me, cause you in the damn pot now. You in the pot. So let's.
So it's the difference between whatever the registered voters are and the sum total of who actually voted. So in other words, you take the registered voters who actually voted, and I guess you put some kind of algorithm based on the numbers he got.
You stepped out of the pot. You in the pot.
You got too deep.
You in the pot. Let me break it down for you. Let me tell you who he was running against. Y'all ready? Sister Shannon, you ready? I need to hear from Sister Shannon. Let her.
I'm ready.
Hey, wait. Can we let Brother Tamani rephrase the question and see if we get it first?
Let him rephrase.
All right, so I'm going to rephrase it because I'm pretty sure I know where our brother is going. So instead of him saying who was Brother Kwabena running against, to give you guys a better chance of getting it right, he should ask what was Brother Kwabena running against?
The system.
Yeah. The unregistered voters?
You're closer. You're definitely in the ballpark.
What did she say?
Unregistered voters.
Okay, all right. That's cool.
She getting close. Come on, Sheba. I can't hear you. Your audio is not working. You gotta do like you did last time with the phone. Anybody else want to give a shot at what was he running against as opposed to who? All right, Craig, go ahead.
See, it didn't matter. And that's what I'm saying. His candidate, his competition were none of the two other individuals. He was running against 4 competitors, not 2. He was running against ignorance, apathy, pessimism, and cynicism in the goddamn 89 0.49% of the people who didn't vote. Does that make sense?
Hell yeah. It don't
When
make
we're
sense,
trying
Sheba.
to take over a landmass, we're not in competition against the damn Democrats or Republicans.
That's right.
We're in competition against ignorance, apathy, pessimism, and cynicism. All he had to do was defeat ignorance, apathy, pessimism, cynicism in the minds of 1,000 people out of 7,000. He wins.
Yep.
But in order to do that, you got to have time and you got to have resources to do that. You see what I'm saying? We're in competition, I like what Sister Sand said, with ourselves, not anybody else. You see what I'm saying? So we have to comprehend the dynamic of this game, because all these damn look at Travion say
The light bulb, right? I like that. Ding.
This gangster talk, brother. This gangster talk. Ain't nobody, you ain't gonna hear this from no damn Farrakhan. You ain't gonna hear this from no damn doctor. This is just straight up inside the belly of the beast, because I've been doing this for over 30 plus years. I started on the ground as a foot soldier in New Orleans as a freshman at Xavier University under the direction and guidance of Mark Moriel, who was the son of the first African-American mayor for the city of New Orleans. And he ultimately became the mayor. Mike Gunn and I went to Xavier together. And so I was raised in this thing. And so all of these years I've been, doing my analysis and my critiques and studying what you find. We're not in competition with anybody who is running.
That's right.
We're in competition with ignorance, apathy, pessimism, and cynicism in the minds of the voters who don't vote. And that's going to be the majority of the goddamn registered voters.
Yes, sir.
So the premise of always doing voter registration drives is really retarded, because you already got enough goddamn people registered to goddamn win the race.
Yeah, you got to give them a reason to vote. You got to get out there and educate them, touch them, connect with them, and build.
Now let me mess you up. So he didn't make the runoff. So the incumbent and the challenger made the runoff. That was on November the 2nd, 4th.
I think it was the 2nd.
All right, so now, what was the turnout for that? I just want some people to give me a perspective. 10% was the damn primary. Surely the runoff had to be higher, right? So somebody give me a goddamn on the runoff. And by the way, when you do the research on Stonecrest, if y'all look at, they had a lot of press lately, because that's where they got the so-called new Black Wall Street Mall.
Yeah.
These are affluent Negroes. These Negroes got it going on. They got education, they got the money. So surely we're gonna get it right in the runoff, right? So what's the percentage? What tell me the percentage. Brother Naru, what's the percentage? Anybody? Cat got y'all tongue?
I didn't even hear your question all the way. You were drinking your water.
So look, what's the percentage of the turnout in the runoff?
4%.
How much?
4.
She said 4.
Damn, you good.
Yeah.
It was 5.something%. 10, talk to me. These are educated Negroes. These are affluent Negroes. 10, why was it turned out 5.68%?
And by then they lost value. Nobody was interested. They really didn't bring any value for the community for anybody else to get back out there to really do anything. Like what? I mean, and I didn't follow up on it. I haven't even tuned into it. This is my first time hearing of it. That's just the educated guess, I guess you could say. I mean, because typically half of the people are gonna, only half of what you got before is gonna come back out and,
That's right.
return and put their vote in.
That's right.
Negro say, God damn it, I win one time.
Don't be asking me to come out here again
Come
now.
back. I ain't going back out.
I ain't doing it twice.
That's
Oh,
gas
how
money.
important it
Y'all
is.
need some gas money to go. Shoot, I gotta take JoJo and them to school.
What's in
Like,
it
I
for me?
took off work.
It's tough, but hey, one of my partners, he's dead now. He said Negro tougher than boot leather. You got that, Sister Sharon? He said, goddamn Negro tougher than boot leather.
All right. So if we do understand, Brother Craig, if we do understand the intersectionality of business, politics, and the numbers, the pathway to power is wide open to us, correct?
That's correct.
And in approximately how many geographic locations in America is this pathway wide open to us?
About how many?
Yeah, I'm asking you approximately how many geographic locations in America are wide open to us?
Yeah, wherever we have a majority African-American population.
By my research, over 1,700 geographic locations in America are wide open for us to control if we understand the intersectionality of business, politics, and the numbers. And Brother Craig just brought all of that together. So,
yeah.
So the title of tonight's show is The Pathway to Power, Understanding the Intersectionality of Business, Politics, and the Numbers. From tonight's episode, the brother has made it very clear the pathway to power is wide open if we understand these three elements, which he's just laid out beautifully in less than an hour. So Brother Craig, you get one takeaway from tonight's show to ensure that everybody will have this one takeaway for the rest of their lives from this one show. What would you say that one takeaway should be?
As Dr. Wade Noble says it best, power is the ability to define reality and have others respond to your definition as if it were their own. So when you reference, Brother Tamani, Dr. Claude Anderson,
Yes, sir.
just behind it. Just behind it. He falls prey
Yes, sir.
to the power definition that Dr. Wade Nobles references.
Yep.
And you can't win that game. You can't win that game. And so that's the takeaway that I would give.
Amen. So before we get to the Q&A, I want to acknowledge two of our newest members. Shannon Ingram is our newest member in Denver, Colorado. And Sister Joanne Edwards, Miss Moto E, whose audio isn't working too well. She's our newest member in Houston, Texas. So we got two new members on the call.
Sister Shan, I got relatives up in Aurora and Denver, 16th Street Mall. Yes, Street Mall in the house. Oh, God.
All right. Yes.
So on that note, anyone have a question and or comment for Brother Craig B. Lee? And for the new people, when Brother Naru turns his camera on, that means it's question and answer time. He's always first. Go ahead, Brother Naru.
Good evening. Welcome to the new young ladies. Good to see more people on here today. Brother Craig, in the beginning, you were talking about the situation you want to set up in Shreveport. I wanted to know, A, would that be a combination of capitalism and socialism? What type of format would that be run? And then how are you going to make sure that, you were talking about employing folks, how are you going to make sure that everybody's employed and that people will take the low paying, menial jobs that we all need to have if in your system? How would you make that work?
Very, very good question. First off, it would be neither capitalism or socialism. It'll be my political philosophy of culturalism. And so when we look at capitalism, the reason that we have to be very careful about that diabolical system is because inside of capitalism is our system of free enterprise.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Because white folks didn't create free enterprise. We did. But they took it and they've now wrapped it with white supremacy and racism. So people get this thing confused. The whole concept of socialism is retarded. It's retarded. Because in Africa, if your punk ass didn't get your ass up and make something and do something, guess what, brother Naru? Your ass wasn't gonna eat. It's that simple. That's free enterprise. So the premise that I'm gonna penalize somebody for coming up with an idea to work to leverage stuff for his family, that's retarded. These are Eurocentric concepts, and I feel so bad for, you know, my homeboy, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. These were good guys, but they were young and they did not understand that Karl Marx didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Because and let me break it down for you a little bit more, Brother Naru. In any system, who controls any system, regardless of what the system is? Who controls it?
People control it, bro.
You goddamn right. People damn control it. So we're in the middle. Okay, we build it now, goddamn, Brother Naru. People control it. Are there more good people or evil people in the world, Brother Naru?
Now that I don't know. I hope it's more good. But sometimes I don't know.
Naru, there are more good people in the world than evil people. But the perception is the world is evil. You know why? Because good people are punks. But good people are scared to strap it on and bust these punk ass evil people inside the goddamn head. Because they believe that fighting is bad. But fighting is good when you're fighting for a righteous cause. So now, why am I asking that question? So now what ends up happening, since people control any system and good people are sitting their punk ass on the sidelines, letting the evil people do what they do, the evil people control what? All the damn systems. All the damn systems. So it wouldn't matter whether it's socialism.
You're talking about the evil people, or yeah.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So now this is a grassroots concept that I've created where we can now have grassroots people of different ethnicities now mobilize, organize to take over the spaces in which they occupy. Because it's real simple. Everybody got to have a piece of the pie.
So you mentioned getting rid of homelessness, and I'm assuming you were talking about getting everyone a job. You still didn't answer that part of the question. Can you break down your culturalism philosophy about how we would get all the homeless people off the street, and how we would have a living wage where everyone could survive? Because even here in where I live in Oakland, we got people who have jobs but they're living in their cars. You know, it's ridiculous.
Well, and that's a byproduct of the evil people who control the system, who now increase the cost of living where people cannot maneuver. See, that's how complex the game is. And so that's that particular part. Under my premise, Brother Naru, I'm gonna ask you the question. If we created a system where you are generating, let's just say, a net of $100 million, how much would you reinvest into the community?
Probably about 75% of it, probably 75, 80%.
So we got to create what? More Naru.
That's right.
We got to create more Craig, because everybody's not going to have the aspect of, or the drive to do what you're gonna do or I am going to do. So those of us who are cultural social entrepreneurs, we create the apparatus, the construct of now going out and maneuvering. So I wouldn't give a damn if we're talking about them just picking up trash every day. It wouldn't matter to me. We create, and I was in Las Vegas a few weeks ago, and I saw what Tony Shea was trying to do there with his cargo container village. And so we create containers, we create tiny houses. You see what I'm saying? We create tiny houses for individuals to now receive moderate compensation. And so, because some people, I just want you to understand, they just want to live off the grid. A lot of these people who are homeless are goddamn mentally detached, and they just want to live off the grid. They don't want to be bothered. So we would like to give them an apparatus in which to exist. And
But
now
see, now that sounds a little bit like socialism, though, brother. I gotta just be honest. If you're giving them a place to live and they're not working for it.
No, they gotta work.
But mentally ill people ain't gonna be able to work.
No. Even mentally, let me tell you something. I saw a post the other day, and it's I got to go meet with him tomorrow, Senator Greg Tarver, and his one of his daughters was said to be, she was going to be permanently brain dead, brain damaged. She wasn't going to be able to do for herself. That girl's mother, she made a post about how Rachel is now living on her own. She has her own house. She done graduated from school. What I'm saying to you, Brother Naru, is a lot of the people who are mentally challenged, and there's some who are completely have to be taken care of. That's a whole different ballgame. But some of these people just don't want to follow no goddamn rules. And at the end of the day, you gonna follow some damn rule now. So we want to work with them to the best of our ability to be able to get them off the street and let them know you got to earn something to be able to, even if it's a little tiny house. We want to look out for you. You see, we want to have compassion. We want to have a foot in your ass, but we still want to have compassion.
A compassionate foot.
Yeah, compassionate. A compassionate foot in your ass. So no, you got to work. Unless you're unable to, if you're an elder who cannot work, if you're disabled and cannot work, we take care of you. But if you are physically able and you can maneuver, we going to make some opportunities happen so you can work.
I still say that's partially socialism, and that's fine. I don't think all socialism is evil, just like I don't feel like free enterprise. So I feel like what you're talking about does have elements of free enterprise, of socialism. I think taking care of people who can't take care of themselves is a human being thing, but that is, like, for me, a form of socialism, of taking care of people, and that I don't think there is anything wrong with it.
But that's why I call my concept culture.
No, I love yours. I love your concept. I'm gonna be right. I might get a shirt. Let's say culturalism on the real. But let me stop hogging up the time. I see my brother raising his hand over there. Thank you,
All
brother,
right.
as always.
All right, Brother Trayvon, question or comment for Brother Craig?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Brother Craig?
All right, there, Brother T.
Pleasure as always, sir.
Yes,
So my question is about economics and cryptocurrency.
Yes,
Is my
sir.
question. How much are y'all involved in cryptocurrency? And
I am, goddammit. I wanted to ride. I'm with you.
Okay, yeah. I think if we like the more I'm understanding these blockchains and these coders and all that. I think there is an absolute way to build a economic base specifically for people. If we can get it going in that type of and create that ecosystem of cryptocurrency economics, I think that could be something really big.
No, you
I just want to
hit it.
interject real quick. It's interesting that he said that. My little cousin just actually launched his own NFT literally the other day.
Wow.
Come on.
Awesome.
And what the NFT does, it gives back to the Black community for social equity and helps put up money for men who need to, or men or women who need to be bonded out of jail, but they don't have the resources or the money.
Awesome.
So I will pass along that information.
Yep.
I actually told him that I want to get him on one of these calls with you guys and kind of present what he's doing, because I really don't know, like I'm kind of new to the game, but like it's phenomenal what he's doing in that whole game. Like I love it.
Awesome.
Hey, can you put it in the chat? Can you put his link in the chat?
Yep, I sure will. Let me get it from my Facebook.
And Brother Trayvon, just so you know, we have a brother who currently he's over our economics and finance department, Brother Harlan Robinson, absolutely phenomenal in the space of economics. He's been involved with crypto for 5.5, 6 years, long before any of us, start paying attention, and he understands it. So that's one of the reasons, brother. We are having a national leadership election next June, so that we can have not just one Harlan Robinson who gets it, but Harlan can have a cabinet of Black people who make up hundreds of years of experience who also get it. So what you're talking about, they can develop for us and get us all on the same page. The beauty of being Black is that there is nothing we need that there's a Black person out here that's not doing it. And I venture to say that as powerful as Brother Craig is in the space of connecting these dots, political strategy, business structure, there are other Black people just as phenomenal in other spaces.
Yep.
What if they were all here under the same umbrella? How phenomenal would that make us? So we have to do the work to find these brothers and sisters, because they do exist, and bring them under the umbrella so we can rock and roll as a nation as much as possible. And like Brother Craig says, we don't need everybody. We don't want everybody. We ain't trying to get everybody. Pookie, unfortunately, Pookie want to be a nigga, so you go be a nigga over there. We don't do nigga shit here. Excuse my French. And we gonna rock and roll as Black people, like Chris Rock. Love Black people, hate niggas. So that's how we gonna roll. Go ahead, Brother Trey.
And Brother Trey, I have my crypto purchases. The way that I don't do the daily trading. I focus on entrepreneurship to generate my financial independence. And so I'm looking at crypto as a part of my investment portfolio, along with real estate, along with precious metals, along with art. You see what I'm saying? Along with a myriad insurance. And so it is one of several components that I'm investing in, but I'm looking at it from a standpoint of long-term investments. Now, what I gotta start doing is the mining and the other component. I forgot how you can make money on it, but you are right in my wheelhouse. Yeah, you're right in my wheelhouse, and that because I'm not even looking at the stock market anymore. I look at the bond market, municipal bonds, cryptos, municipal bonds because it's a tax-free investment, but the cryptos and the real estate. And I'm so glad I got my good partner, Brother Eric Lindsay, on the call because we are getting into the recycling space. And with me being a board member for our Dads on Duty USA organization, one of the things that we're going to bring forth as we start to leverage these resources is the funds to now let Brother Eric spearhead the rubber tire recycling industry for us, and we use young people as our employees. So we're going to teach them how to chase the bag legally through entrepreneurship, and now leverage the resources they generate on the entrepreneur side into what? Cryptocurrency, NFT, DeFi. You see? So I'm with you 100%, brother. And lastly, I remember when you some weeks ago, you made the comment how great you feel being able to be a part of a grassroots operation that's not afraid to talk about some goddamn money. The premise of being broke, man, is retarded.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make any goddamn sense, because as Naru just correctly answered, every system, Brother Trayvon, is controlled by people. The question is, what people are going to control the system of culturalism? Because we already know who controls goddamn capitalism, socialism, and all them other goddamn isms. And it ain't no goddamn grassroots people.
For sure. All right, Brother Trayvon, your hand's still up. You got another question? Or you just
Oh, no, I never put it down. My bad.
Solid. Okay. Does anyone else have a question or comment for Brother Craig? Any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right, Brother Craig, closing comments.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody for coming out and attending, visiting with us, chatting with us, learning with us. We're on a journey, and the Creator is blessing what's going on. I've been doing this in Shreveport now for 26 years. I've been on the enlightened path for 37 years. This November the 17th made 37 years for me being on the enlightened path. And the Creator is moving. I mean, I never thought our dad's on duty concept would be what it is. I'm not even lying to you. I just do what I do in terms of volunteering and helping to guide our people in the right direction here locally. And I knew at some point the work that I would do would ultimately lay the foundation for the prototype and the proof of concept that I needed to be created. It's great to have bumped into and connected with Brother Tamani, Brother Naru, all of you wonderful people on this call. And I'm just here to bring some corporate pizzazz to the goddamn table and show you how we can maneuver and do this thing in a righteous manner so that we can come up. Because I can tell you right now, 80% of my resources of $500 million or $1 billion would already be going back into the community by way of business grants, business loans, scholarships, programs, projects, real estate development. I mean, but those of us who feel that way, those of us who believe that, we got to become the goddamn industry titans. We got to become the gangsters, intellectual gangsters. But we got to be willing to bust some caps and some asses. Ain't gonna lie to you. But I thank you guys for being on the call, and I look forward to talking to you all in the next week.
Cool. As I said in the beginning, we're not here to just inform and enlighten. We're trying to get you to do something. The Revolutionary Code is our podcast to educate our adults. We also have a Cinematic Connections Revolutionary Change, our movie review every other week. This coming Saturday is we will be reviewing the movie Selma. This is our week to do that. So if you are free and available Saturday morning, I guarantee you, if you enjoy the Revolutionary Code, you're going to enjoy the movie reviews because all of them are absolutely phenomenal. So with that, as Brother Craig said, I do thank everybody for taking time out of their evening to be here. Please share this with a few melanated Black folk who you think might be interested, might learn something, and hopefully we'll have twice as many next week. And always remember two things: no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And absolutely, always remember that nothing is more sacred than the liberation, empowerment, freedom, salvation of Black people. Because if Black people don't make it, none of this ain't gonna matter, because we ain't gonna make it. So with that, you guys have a wonderful evening. God bless, and I'll be in touch. Y'all take care. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.